he's leaving you.
Erika, no. Me voy, chao. Me voy.
Hasta luego.
653 to beign, next to Danbury and Waterbury. Hold on track 109 on the lower level. Track change. Attention to beign line customers. 648 to Stanford. For the first stop.
What it's like for you to have grown up in New York City? Who's gonna go first?
Growing up in New York City. Okay, New York City has this like massive dichotomy of people and living standards, right? So you can live in like Queens or Bronx or the Brooklyn, and you can be like dirt poor, right? And then you'll take a subway stop into the city, and then you're in this world of magic, of rich people and extreme wealth, right? So growing up in New York City, you have this kind of variety of experience of poor and wealth.
And
I think,
for us, it was taking the 6th train, 125th station.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
From the Bronx. So I think it makes you motivated as a young immigrant who's poor. It makes you motivated to reach for the stars. So
Yep.
that's one thing I'll say.
I can attest to that.
Great description. Yeah. I mean,
What about you, Rafi? His name is Rafi too. My name is Rafi too.
same people. I'm the New York Rafi.
I'm the Michigan Rafi. So what has it been like for you to grow up in the city?
Yes, I wanted to definitely agree with the piece. Like, there are like areas that are so well divided, right? Like Manhattan, you get the glamour of the city, right? The high life, right? There are rural, like semi-rural areas in Queens where it feels more towards like, you know, like the Bangladeshi communities, like, and so on. But I would say the biggest, I guess, differentiator of New York City is the diversity.
Diversity,
you know? Like growing up in public schools and stuff, you got access to a variety of cultures in an unprecedented way, I would say, right? Like, you wouldn't get that in any other country or even a lot of states.
No, not even in Bangladesh you wouldn't get that, right?
Exactly, but it would be all Bengalis. You know?
Exactly,
I think Jackson Heights is the most diverse like area code or something in the world.
In the world,
I feel like you can find someone who speaks any language.
Oh yeah.
So
I think
and it's beautiful, the diversity, man, right? Because you can have cultural differences, value differences, or whatever, right?
And still live together.
You can live together, and you can connect with American stuff like that.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. So like it's mixing. The way I describe New York City is like it's a mixing pot where things don't mix.
Yeah.
Like think of a soup, right?
Yeah.
You put a lot of shit in it. It doesn't mix because we have our own identities.
Right.
But we still stay in that soup.
Right.
That's kind of how I see New York City. Like nobody loses their own identity. And that's the best part about New York City. Okay, so next question for you guys.
Yeah.
I know you guys are still young and you guys have a lot of, future left, work-wise, education-wise, whatever-wise. Do you guys see yourself settling down in the city, or do you are you guys curious enough to leave the city and see what's out there for short term?
That's a great question.
Like what do you guys think about that?
You know what's funny? I've actually been thinking about this a lot.
Okay, perfect. This is a New York City. We were gonna call this New York City walking therapy.
Yeah, I mean, you know what it is? It's so hard. You know, if you live anywhere else in the world, you're like, yeah, New York's better, California is better. It's so hard to say something else is better when you live here and you grow up here, and the opportunities here. And I'm in business, so like, where else is this? So
you have a lot of opportunity. Yeah.
I've been thinking maybe internationally for a few years.
Okay.
So I'm going to be starting as a management consultant in September, and there's a lot of open roles in in Dubai for McKinsey management consulting. In that growing there's a lot of tech and investments opening up in the Middle East. Yeah. So maybe I could kind of work there for 2 years, build that network there, and then come back. Okay. So that's something I'm thinking about.
Okay, that's a good plan. Like, as I said, you guys are young enough. And I'm glad you gave that answer because it's not a good idea to bottleneck yourself when you're this young. When you guys are this young, I'm becoming an old fart. I turned 32 this year, so.
Still
I mean, you know what? One of the biggest things to consider for me is like,
Yeah, what about you?
your friends have experienced when they move out of the city, right? Like I've had a couple of friends who moved down to Texas for a bit, you know, and some other states. And the thing is, the life was so drastic that they missed it, you know. A lot. I have friends who moved down to Jersey and they hated it, you know. They're like, there's nothing to do here, man. Like, you know, I just want to come back, you know. And this is something that I fear. Like, you know, part of me wants to be down in Texas in a ranch somewhere or whatever, right? But having been experienced to the city life and, you know, the stuff that we were talking about earlier, the diversity, the opportunity, I don't think I'm ready to leave, you know. So
not yet.
youth, I want to like stick
Okay.
down, man. Maybe.
What if you get a really good job opportunity with a good salary in, let's say, a biggish city like Houston, Texas, which is not in the middle of the woods? Would you take it?
I would definitely consider it.
a product manager job with Google in Houston.
Yeah, because you get to meet like.
Would you do it?
What do you mean?
A product manager job at Google and in Houston.
A product manager job, right?
Fucking New York.
So then to me, it's company culture versus city culture, right? So honestly, yeah, I would do it.
Then
Google has amazing company.
Yeah, exactly. Then
Right,
you have to be selfish about your own career. Sometimes you have to do that, and I've done it. Like I've left, you know, my mom and dad, and when my sisters were still in college, right? I went to Iowa because I was like, if I don't do it, then well, who's gonna help me in my career?
Yeah, you got to kickstart.
You got to kickstart somehow, you know. So my advice: if you guys get the right opportunity at the right time, even if it's not in the city, please take it. even if it's short term, you know. Like you guys always like, if you're homesick, you don't like that shit, quit it, you know, like and come back.
Let's take a hiatus and look at the view. Wait, come over here. It's a better view.
What building is that? Is that Empire State? Yeah.
That's the Empire State Building. And then if you look over that way, you have the Chrysler Building.
Okay.
Like a corner with beautiful views on both sides. And then you have the Santander Bank, which...
The Spanish Conquistadors Bank. So what do you guys do when you guys have free time here? Let's say no school, no work, nothing. What do you guys do for fun?
In the city you're talking about, or like Queens, Jamaica, anywhere?
Like you're home, right? Let's say you're home, you're chilling. One of your buddies texts you like, "Yo, let's do something." What do you guys do?
So we have a couple of activities we try out sometimes, right? We've been to pool a couple of times, right? That's an activity.
Yeah, but I also think it depends on the individual, right? Like we are different than because New York City you can do anything.
Anything, yep.
And you know what's funny? We try to chase things which are not traditionally New York.
All right, I like that.
So like we love hiking, we love like off-roading, and then we try to find these places in New York. And so we're usually I have a Jeep in New York, which is kind of funny. So I take my Jeep and we live in Queens, so we find these places to go and do this. And we're also at the gym most of the time too.
The gym is a big, that's something I wanted to speak on. I don't know how distinct it is from other gym cultures around America, right? But New York, like gym with the boys, it's like it's become much more than just working out.
Yeah.
You know, man. It's like a shared space where you have a reason to be in each other's lives further and better yourselves, right? So we can come as a group and then split off into partners, do different things. And I would say that's one of the bases of our Nafis and I's friendship. Like
is that how you guys met?
No.
The pitch competition we met.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, we met a pitch competition in New York, like at Baruch College actually, right?
Oh shit.
And then we realized, like, hold on, we got a lot of similar
things.
And then we started hanging out a bit, and then we decided, like, bro, we gotta hit the gym.
I think if you want to stereotype the brown Muslim population in New York, they will go to the gym. They will go drink coffee or tea at a cafe because they can't go party or drink alcohol or go to strip clubs or whatever. So they
they can.
But I'm just
you shouldn't.
So they go to the cafes. There's a lot of Arabic cafes around, so they'll do that. And especially now that they can't go to Starbucks, they'll go eat food. Food eating for Muslim brown people is huge. What else? What else am I missing? Hookah.
Hookah lounges.
Hookah is like big in the brown community.
Are you guys hungry?
Yeah, we're kind of hungry, right?
How far is Chinatown from here?
Chinatown
is this far? Is it walkable? Yeah, are you guys in, like, do you guys want to do dumplings and other stuff?
Let's first hit the portal.
Okay.
I don't know if that's gonna be here.
Oh, it's gonna be open too long. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is also a thing about New York, man. I would say you have the most options in the world.
Yeah.
Any culture, any you know type of establishment, any price point, right?
Yep.
But still, when you're with your friends, you can't decide what to eat.
That's the problem we're having right
Classic
now.
case of too many choices. You know? What do you go with?
So I have the whole day.
Yeah,
I have nothing else to do.
I don't either. But
So,
he has
okay.
to get home midnight.
The first ever Shake Shack
Yeah,
was open here.
yeah. That
What?
one.
Is it the same building?
I don't know if it's the same building.
Oh, okay.
I've heard there was a cart before,
Oh,
and then now it's.
all great things start small. Start
This
small.
is a beautiful place because this is right next to the Flatiron Building,
Which is
over
that?
there.
Yeah.
So we'll walk there right now.
Okay.
It's an iconic walk, like in a fountain there. And before, maybe just a couple months ago, you would have a beautiful view straight from the Flatiron Building to the Empire State Building, straight. But now they're like building this building in front of it, so that whole view of the Empire State Building is cut off.
Shit.
But it used to be a beautiful view sitting right in that corner over there. But we'll see when we get there.
I gotcha.
There's a lot of little events that happen here too. I don't know.
Is it? This is not where they have like the random chess games.
No, that's in Washington
the
Square.
Washington Square Park. Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
And sometimes in Central Park too, right?
In Central Park too, but mostly in Washington. Yeah.
That's the go-to. You see grandmasters going
Grandmaster
there,
like
and they play.
yeah, like undercover grandmasters. They would go.
Exactly. There's this daughter and mother duo.
Yeah, yep, yep.
So this is the.
First ever
I mean, it's
Shake
beautiful
Shack.
here. And that's the Flatiron Building, which is recently sold.
Oh shit, that's the John Wick building, right?
Yeah, and the
From
boys
mo-
building.
The boys building, yeah, yeah. Boy.
And right there's the phone.
Oh, is it closed?
Yep. No, we can see it.
We can just see and pretend we're talking to Ireland. Somebody doing yoga in the middle of this shit. Perfect. Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know if the portals have plans to like connect like different?
Yeah,
portals?
yeah. This was a test.
I see.
Apparently, we failed because of the
That woman.
I mean,
flash.
the humanity, like
It's humanity. You drive on sex.
make it. Hey, make it like install AI in the camera,
That's
like
true, and blur it.
and blur it.
But they were two simpletons, you know.
Yeah.
But then you would
How do
need
you
to create a
identify?
delay that would like ruin the effect. Kind of.
Oh, smart. That's true.
Now we're thinking like engineers and scientists and critical thinking.
Yeah, it's boring stuff, man. Let's go back to the magical portal.
What were you talking about? Oh.
So you see that?
Yeah, what's that?
Look at that horrendousness.
What is that
Look,
construction?
Right behind that is the Empire State. The entire building you could have seen here from this.
Oh, yeah, I can see the edge of the Empire State. Whoa,
Exactly.
shit, okay. So that's what you were talking about.
So sad.
This thing is blocking the Empire State.
And so
okay.
like you would sit here after classes, look both ways, beautiful views.
Sip some coffee and then
Oh,
not
yeah,
anymore.
But now it's ruined. And I love that building too, a clock building.
Is that the UBS building?
No, the UPS building is the one next to it.
Ah.
That's our UK clock tower.
I don't know. What does the portal say?
The portal says
Portal is asleep. Back up at 8 a.m.
I can't see that with glasses. How do you read that?
What's your prescription? Portal is asleep. Back up at 8 a.m.
Bro, how hard is it to keep like, two screens up all night?
No, because they need to have a guy there at all times.
Really? Back up at 8 a.m. unfortunately. I think he's just a tourist.
No,
The Brooklyn guy fell asleep.
Stand here for portal viewing. That's not gonna work.